Hey,
I haven't seen
Blaire
this
White,
yet.
for example, she is a trans woman, albeit a conservative one. Blaire throws trans people under the bus.
Really? I'm throwing you under the bus. I couldn't lift you if I tried.
Please rip him a new asshole, bro. Ah, that fucking guy, the one that goes to all the restaurants just to complain about being misgendered. Nah, he's so insufferable.
Blaire White is what you get when you have a trans woman who's trying to keep her male privilege. That's what happened. Right there.
Oh, did that person just admit that trans women are men? Oh, well, how about that? So wait, what does that mean? Does that mean that if you transition, you're giving up your quote-unquote male privilege? Is that what you're doing? So is that how you're converting people? You're trying to brainwash men into thinking they have this male privilege, and the only way to get rid of it is to transition to a woman? That's pretty fucked up.
Trans Republican.
I wonder what it'd be like
Not Dylan Mulvaney. You know what? I need a monster for this. I'll be right back. Blaire, entertain everyone with the still image of you. All right, I'm back. I have my monster. We're ready to go. Not Dylan Mulvaney.
to make money off of like the far right and telling people that trans people are bad.
Dude, what did Wrangler say? All projection. Dude, he's 100% right, dude. You guys are the ones profiting off of pushing the transgender trans agenda. We're not profiting from stopping you. I mean, some of us are, it's our job to comment on things that are happening. But you're the one making money.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are reacting to Monkeys on Meth.
Monkeys on meth. Ha!
Reacting to trans TikTokers who hate me. That's today's video.
I mean, they're the same.
Maybe we'll do that one next week. I don't know. We're actually reacting to various trans TikTokers, some whose faces may be unfortunately quite familiar to you.
Trans Republican.
What the fuck was that? What even noise was that, bro? That was not a human noise. Dylan Mulvaney's an alien confirmed.
Creators who just have a really big issue with me, despite the fact that there are perhaps some other issues that could be prioritized, as again you'll see. Let's just get into it. I hope none of them outsmart me. So first up.
All right. Blaire White.
She did the jump scare strings thing. What is that? What is that?
Message for you. And everybody else, actually. Blaire White is what you get when you have a trans woman who's trying to keep her male privilege. That's what happened. Right there. Think she's special. No sweet.
See, he thought he ate with that. But all he did was disprove his own argument. So you're saying that trans women are men. The people on the left, the men of the left, are being taught that they have male privilege, and the way to get rid of it is to transition into a woman. That's what you're trying to say.
What does that mean? A trans woman trying to keep my male privilege? Are you literally talking about a penis? You know, I see that you have a really big problem with me, right? I would suggest perhaps addressing other problems, some of them which are quite literally elephants in the room, starting with the Party City wig, starting with...
Right to the Party City wig. I literally just read your comment. That wig is janky, and I was about to comment on it, but she freaking beat me to the punch. The Party City wig, dude. Don't certain wigs have to fit your face shape, right? You have to get a wig that fits the shape of your face. I think that's how that works, right? Otherwise, it looks weird. So yeah, this motherfucker must have picked his own wig out, bro, because he did not do a good job. Didn't know what the fuck he was doing, bro.
The unit, right? I just feel like if I was rocking that kind of a unit, I would maybe not get on camera criticizing people. I just wouldn't have the goal. I wouldn't have the desire, first of all, because I'd be very depressed that unit was in fact on my head. And I definitely wouldn't have the bravery. Just setting myself up for that. But the only reason I'm even talking about your wig is because I have no idea what you mean by your...
Motherfucker bald under there, bruh. Not just wigs, just hairstyle in general. You picked the wrong one, you look like a troll. Fair. That is 100% facts, dude. I got a haircut recently, and they cut it really short. Not really short, it's like shoulder length. But if I just let my hair down, I look like fucking Lord Farquaad. So I have to wear it a certain way in order to look even halfway decent. So I 100% understand what you're saying. I relate to it on a deeper level. I have experienced it. But yeah, if you have fucking, this motherfucker picked out his own wig, and now he looks like a fucking Looney Tune, bro. He looks like something straight out of some cartoon. He looks like how an anime would depict this type of motherfucker. Bro's got like a fucking 10 head, dude. Like, what the fuck is up with that? Why is his hairline all the way back here?
Actual argument, if we can call it that, trying to keep my male privilege. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it slaps if you're retarded. So this is the one
Damn.
that everyone has been sending me this week.
Oh, this is the what's this motherfucker's name? Lily Tino or some shit. I don't know. They all pick fucking weird ass names, bruh.
Because Lily Tino, you know, the infamous pregnant.
He did not say he was pregnant. What the fuck? Are you serious? Is this guy funded by USAID? Wouldn't be surprised, bro. This CIA puppet right there, that's what that is.
Trans person who like goes and harasses service industry workers and gets rage bait content.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm not sir. Can you call me sir?
Look at that fucking belly roll, bro. What the hell?
I just want to tell you that
he just looks so
the person who
masculine,
gave
bro.
me
He
this
just
called
not
me
the
sir.
fucking.
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like
You just have a whole ass male frame, dude. You don't even look feminine at all.
it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir.
And makes videos about being in bathrooms with little girls.
I was just in the women's room at a cheesecake factory, and when I walked in, there was this little girl, like 3 years old, tops.
And has accusations against them for sexual misconduct. And, you know, that scary one. This one had the nerve to make a video about me this week, so that's what everyone's sending me, so we're gonna react. In the movies, we see people betray their own kind all the time, but sadly, it's also happening in the trans community. Take Blaire White, for example. This video is sponsored by June's Journey. June's Journey is a captivating...
Pregnant with a food baby? Right, dude? He does tend to go to a lot of restaurants. Which is what begs the question, how does he pay for all these restaurants, bro? If he's not getting funded by some government entity. It's like every day he's filming himself in a different restaurant, being like, "Oh, you called me sir? I know I look like a man, but I'm clearly not one, sir. Okay? You need to call me a she." That is sexual fetish. Women don't go out looking like that. Just stop, right, dude? And yeah, I was not expecting the ad. We can go ahead and skip this one because Blaire White doesn't threaten me.
Now, onto the video.
She is
That's a
a
cute picture.
trans woman, albeit a conservative one. But instead of advocating for change or pushing people to
At least he's using flattering images of you.
Be more accepting with her very large platform, Blaire throws trans people under the bus in order to be seen.
Really? I'm throwing you under the bus. I couldn't lift you if I tried. No one's moving you. You're planted. One thing about it, when you're talking about our own kind, right? Our kind, us, I have nothing in common with you. Quite literally, I don't even think you are actually transgender. And so...
He's not, dude. He's not. And he's literally just trying to create an us versus them type of cult. Because that's what they do. That's how cults operate. They create an us versus them. We're morally superior to them. And they're subhuman garbage because they're killing us. CIA playbook, bro. It's literally in the PSYOP. It says PSYOP. I've been watching a lot of PSYOP videos on how to detect a PSYOP, and they've all been fucking the same. It just verifies everything.
The things that you and I have in common, the list is smaller than your IQ. I will say, This is actually a very nice video. Y'all said it was a hate video. I'm actually very relieved and flattered that you would create distance between us even more than there already is for anybody that has, you know, eyes to see, ears to hear. Right? Skin to shiver in fear when they see your ass. I'm glad that you're distancing yourself because this is only a good look for me and other transsexuals who want nothing to do with you, which is like almost all of them. Like I've seen people roasting you, trans people roasting you on TikTok.
Yep.
Way more than I do, first of all. Nobody thinks you're like an okay specimen. Nobody thinks that your presence is in any way kosher on that ass.
Motherfucker's a weirdo, dude. Whole ass man tied a thin cloth around his non-existent tits and went, yup, that's how women dress in public. Right, dude? Like, dude needs to just stop, bro. He's just in women's cosplay. Why aren't you calling me a woman? I'm a beautiful, elegant lady. A cult that instead of drinking punch just snips their wiener off? Yep. It's a cult that's coming after your bloodline. Because they're trying to prevent the second coming of Jesus. So that's why they're advocating for abortion. And cutting generations. They're cutting off entire bloodlines. Oh, be gay. Or if you're not gay, then you're trans. So cut off your wiener. Chemically castrate all the kids. We gotta prevent the second coming.
Okay. And by the way, it's not enough you gotta harass people in restaurants. You're up in a movie theater with a ring light on your phone recording and talking. You are just a pest. A whole pest. Trans or not, can you just not be ghetto in the movie theater?
That's actually the what? I didn't even realize that he was in a movie theater doing this shit. Why are you filming in a movie theater, bro? Why are you filming a TikTok hit piece on Blaire White in the movie theater, bro? Are you watching Snow White? Is that why? Because the theater's empty anyways? If you were watching Snow White, I would understand making it a TikTok in the middle of the theater. There's nobody in there to be bothered anyways.
As one of the good ones by conservatives. For
They have
example,
one
Blaire
line.
is on the record saying that trans kids don't exist.
There is no such thing as a transgender child. And
Period.
That's true. There's no transgender children. There's no such thing. They're not trying to save trans kids. They're trying to create trans kids. There's just confused children and sick adults. That's all that exists.
Period. I'm not just standing on that. I'm sitting on that. I'm relaxing on that. I'm chilling. Because I agree with that. Not only is there now an actual pretty sizable divide in the actual trans community on if children transitioning is good or bad, when there used to be just unanimous, everyone's for it, the world has really come to understand that this is like some barbarian shit.
Yeah.
You're a barbarian. And advocating for that and just existing the way in which you do, right? Existing in the context that you do, right? That's just not okay. But also supporting these things out loud as a trans influencer, again, please create more distance. Please.
Right.
That is such a worse look. Y'all lost yourselves the election. You took back actual trans acceptance to like the gutter. Like the gutter.
Not just trans acceptance. The whole LGBTQ acceptance in general has been pushed back like so far because of these trans activists.
You still want to be up here on camera acting like your ideas have not already been found out as fake as hell. Like you. Quite fraudulent. And I'm sorry if I'm crashing out a little bit, but I really do just feel like as long as there are people like Lily Tino, like the feeling is mutual. For you to act like my existence is just so freakish and so crazy because I have different opinions than you, I feel like your existence is actually one of the main things setting trans bitch back. I feel like as long as there is the example of you and some other people like you out there,
Yep.
trans acceptance is going nowhere. Sometimes I literally just think about how like psychotic it is to be part of, even though I don't consider myself part of it, to be like in a group of people that you get called out for being normal. Like you get called out for just having like standard opinions like don't sterilize kids. That's the thing that gets you the out group, the outcast status.
Right? Exactly. I'm okay with being made fun of by these people if it means I get to be normal. We need more normal people.
That group, and that's just like really demented. It's like, oh, I don't think like women should beat men should beat women's asses in sports. I don't think kids should be sterilized. Like, I know it's like the same song and dance we've been talking about here for so long on this channel, but sometimes I actually stop and think about it and I'm like, what is going on? What is that? It gives complete cult. It gives like, what's the name of that cult where they drank the Kool-Aid or whatever?
No, Heaven's Gate. Oh, yeah, the Heaven's Gate cult. Yeah, dude. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Exactly. Fucking love that. I fucking love that episode, dude. That was a good one. Rick and Morty is for the win, bro.
Oh, Heaven's Gate?
Devil's Gate, Hell's Gate with these ones because it's like that. And it is actually fascinating how, per usual, they don't actually like debate what I say in the clip that they use. They just paint it as like, this is what a bad.
Oh, Heaven's Gate was the matching tennis shoes. The Kool-Aid was Jim Jones. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I probably did know that. I just got confused them.
Bad person says. This is what a bad person says. It's never like she's wrong because it's more like she's a bad person.
child. And I say that as a transgender adult.
Which is simply not true. And if you're
Why?
thinking that that's a weird take for a trans person to
See, and then just move on. Why? Why is it a weird take? Moving on.
I agree with you. Her being trans gives the take some weird legitimacy so that conservatives can point to it and say, hey, look at this, even a trans person.
God forbid I'm speaking in a way that's legitimate. I'm giving legitimacy to the topic. Holy shit. This is what I mean. This is the inversion. She's talking in a way that just makes her seem legitimate.
He doesn't argue any actual point against it. This is what they do, dude. They just say, oh, this person's wrong. And if the fact that this person is... The fact that this person is even saying that is just mind-blowing because it's so wrong. But they don't say why it's wrong.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard. And I know in particular for you, Lily, you definitely think a little more with the downstairs than the upstairs. I've seen that. We've all seen that. But every once in a while, maybe just
He thinks with the downstairs. That's why he doesn't have a brain, because it's gone.
run the equation through your brain a little bit. So far, Blaire White's a bad person because she's against kids being sterilized and because she comes across as legitimate.
A trans person thinks that trans people are crazy. Now, it's worth pointing out the irony that the conservatives who use Blaire as ammunition against the trans community will never accept Blaire as a woman. Deep down, Blaire understands this, but she just doesn't care.
I mean, I see her as more of a woman than I see you as. Like, I've been saying this forever, bro. You gotta trick my brain into gendering you correctly. That's all into gendering you the way that you want. I've been saying that shit. If you look enough like a woman to where my brain thinks you're a woman, then I'm gonna say she just automatically.
That's actually true. I actually don't care at all who thinks of me as a woman or not. I really don't care. Like, I don't care if the last thing that a conservative says before they lay their head down at night, they say their prayers and then the prayer's over, they have one last thing to say mentally to themselves, Blaire White is a man. I don't care if every single one of them did that. And I don't care that people like you will say that I'm a woman because I'm a woman, because I'm a woman, because I'm a woman. Like, I actually don't care. And since Lily Tino is reporting live from another business, I will give you some of my business right now. I will spill a little tea on some behind the scenes stuff if you want to know a little bit about conservative media, right-wing media, and all the pundits.
Ooh.
I have legitimately never, ever, ever met a single one. Think of the most anti-trans, least likely to be pro-trans, I will never use pronouns as Republican. Picture that one in your head, and I guarantee you I've probably also met them. I have never been called he by a single one.
Because you look like a woman, bruh. And yeah, she's right. If you watch her interview with Alex Jones, every single one of them is like she. I can't look at you and honestly say man. Because you have assimilated into the gender seamlessly. So it just tricks my brain into being like she. I can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Blaire White. I love him. Like, that doesn't, my brain doesn't register that. But if I look at Lily Tino here, with his masculine jaw, I'm like, yeah, that's a whole ass dude. Like, one of these things is not like the other. Looking ass boy.
And it's not because they avoid using pronouns, it's because they say she every time. And I don't really care because at the end of the day, the entire argument over pronouns, y'all are the ones that created that. Pronouns are, when they're not being politicized, just subconscious words we speak when we interact
Exactly.
with people.
Yes, fucking exactly.
No one's running the gamut in their brain at every person they see to figure out if they're a male or female first and wonder about pronouns. They just subconsciously see a person, and if it looks like a woman, it looks like a woman, it's a she, and vice versa for he. That's actually how pronouns work. So the only one making some retarded, convoluted mess out of it is y'all, and now the conservatives in a lot of ways. But that's the point, because when you don't politicize pronouns, people aren't even tempted to misgender you. But you actually have to also transition. So, you know, that's a hard...
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, wait, what? So he did get the facial feminization surgery? So this is a feminized face? He needs to get his money back, bro. He got ripped off. He looks like a whole ass man. Look at this big head, dude. What the fuck? See, look at Blaire White, and then look at Lily Tino. This motherfucker. His big ass head. Look at them big hands, bruh. I don't know if it's the camera angle not doing him justice, but he looks like a whole ass dude.
one for a lot of people who call themselves trans now.
Is this post FFS?
Is it what?
Wait, what? Oh, well, they just confirmed it.
Is this post FFS? Lily got FFS.
Lily got... How?
I don't know. I'm dead ass.
Really?
Lily got
Dude,
FFS,
what?
and
When?
They were sharing the before and after pictures on X, and it was.
But this was posted like 3 days ago, so this has to be after that.
And I'm feeling good.
What is this handsome Squidward looking ass boy, dude? What the fuck? Bro went whole Sigma face, dude. What is this fucking 6 head he has going on here, bro? Why is his hairline pulled back so far? Why are you doing this Sigma face, dude? Look like a whole ass Easter Island head, bro. Oh my god. Oh, you cannot write this shit, bro. What the fuck? This is hilarious.
I would get a refund.
Her a free
Exactly. I would get your money back, dude.
pass from harassment and discrimination in return for selling out her own people.
You are not my people. I swear to God, you are not my people. First of all, not on a physical level, not on a mental level, not on a spiritual level, especially. I'm actually on the opposite end of devilry.
Oh shit. I also think he doesn't really dress how a woman dress. That's the second woman in chat to be like, this motherfucker doesn't dress like a woman. Cindy W. He for real dresses and does makeup how a man thinks a woman would dress and do makeup. Like, he's not beating the allegations.
Y'all want to talk about a gender spectrum. Okay. A spiritual spectrum of devilry to doing my best to serve the light at all times while falling short. It's a long jump.
While falling
right?
short.
And I know, Lily, that you are in altercations constantly, right? You're just always up in some drama in a restaurant, getting harassed, unfortunately, by some less than minimum wage waitstaff. And then you have to expose them, and it's the whole process. But I actually promise you, another behind the scenes of Blaire's life, right? A little BTS. I have never in my life had anybody be transphobic. If that constitutes like calling me a tranny, calling me a man, like telling me get the fuck out because of this, like telling me whatever. I actually think it hasn't happened a single time in my life. I'm like struggling to think of a time.
With Candace, but we like.
But that was okay. But I'm talking about real life. That's still internet. Like that.
Yeah, I think Candace was just trying to prove a point. Like, Candace was just doing it. I don't know. I didn't even watch their interaction. I don't think they like each other. My brain can't register a man when I see Blaire. Like, my brain just automatically, it's tricked. You have tricked my brain.
We're filming a video for the internet. And so people can try to frame it as me like thinking I'm like better than someone because I am able to exist in the world in a way that's like respectful of other people, like bare minimum type stuff, like coming out the caveman and cavewoman.
Did we get rated? I didn't even know you could do that on YouTube. I did see Curdled Milk VT and their viewers joined. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. What up, Curdled Milk? Good to see you, fam. We chillin', bruh. We chillin'.
Women, like just getting out the cave with that like basic respect stuff. Just because you're not capable of that. And why, unfortunately, the trans community is capable of that kind of sparingly, which we have to work on. And that's actually the entire purpose of why I started talking about this topic, because I'm actually trying to raise the vibration a bit in the trans community.
Oh shit, it's called live redirect? Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I've seen that in the settings. Okay. Yeah, so after you go live, you can redirect and transmit your viewers there. That's pretty cool. Well, welcome, viewers of Curdled Milk TV. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm high. I smoked a fat pen rip before starting the stream, as you could tell. So, I apologize for butchering your name like fuck shit just then. Hello, viewers of Curdled Milk TV, VTuber. God damn it. Welcome to the stream. My name is Nefarious, and I'm stoned like an Iranian prostitute. Back to Blaire.
Like, just a bit. I don't get harassed by women. I don't get harassed by even other trans people. I don't get harassed by men. Although, this might be the closest I've come to feeling harassed by a man in a while, I have to be so honest.
I'm a trans girl. Of course I'm gonna want representation in the media. Just not by Blaire White.
Oh god, ew. At least you look more like a woman than the last one.
I'm a trans girl. Of course I've had to learn
You still don't dress like how a woman would dress, though.
that gay men shouldn't be my type. I'm a trans girl. Of course I raise the pitch of my voice around people who could be conservative.
Ooh. Ooh. That was like painfully awkward.
The voice thing?
Oh my God.
It's so cringe, dude.
I mean, I'm looking at pain for sure. I'm definitely looking at pain. I'm looking at something that has convinced you, going along with your little line, of course I want representation, just not Blaire White. Then who's doing it right? Excluding you, because that's a given. We're at zero with you, right? It's giving actually nothing. So other than me, who's like doing it right? Lily Tino from the video before? Have you made a we don't like Lily Tino video, or just fix your little TikTok fingers to do a we don't like Blaire White video?
That's what it
like
sounds
normal.
like, bro.
That's the craziest part. That's the craziest part. And it's weird to be like the crazy person of a group like this, because all it is just like level.
Yeah, I could see I could see wearing the jeans, but not the shirt, dude. It's just weirdly small. Like, what? You're dressing like a whore. Gotta go have a great stream. I will. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Didn't even know you could do that, but I appreciate everybody showing up. Blaire is a queen.
Normal that I think. Like the entire rest of the population, basically, except this small trans community, thinks mostly in line with the way I do. And even the ones who disagree, if you were to give them the actual facts, I think most people would land pretty much where I do. Which is leave kids alone, adults do your thing, but be fucking respectful. That's really the overall message of this channel. And so if
that's just common sense, bro. That's just common sense.
That's not something you want representing you, which first of all, I don't represent you, you're right. I'm representing me, and to the best of my ability, God. You, we can talk about what deities are circulating you. We can talk about that. But instead of going...
She said this bitch had multiple personalities, bro.
...there, I would just, offer a little bit of an encouragement for some self-awareness, for some sobriety, if that's what's actually clogging the vision here. If it's just drugs, okay, stop those. But if it's just that you're mistaken, I beg you to look around at any other trans representation and tell me what they are doing positive. Like what gains are being made. Because y'all maybe were able to say this in 2016, 2017 when I wasn't, had a big of a platform and maybe I was a bit early on certain topics, but
I don't even know what do they gain from this? Like, I don't even know what their end goal is. They don't really have one. They're just pushing and pushing for no reason, going nowhere. See, I thought gay marriage was the goal, and then it just kind of kept going.
What have I ever been wrong about? What have I ever even said was going to come to pass and didn't? What have I ever actually lost a debate about when it comes to trans issues specifically? Nothing. So ask yourself why maybe society isn't exactly being won over by people like Lily Tino, you, Jeffrey Marsh. Who's really doing it? Who are we looking for here? Dylan Mulvaney. Oh yeah, Dylan has made such great strides.
He crashed a whole brand. Dylan Mulvaney didn't really make any real accomplishments, did he? Does the blue chick look like Dylan? Is it just me or the freeze frame? He's just got that Dylan face. Maybe he's one of them ones.
For the trans community, I would actually attribute like 30% of the crash to that hoe. And there's a video of Dylan later in this video. But I guess if there was just like anyone else doing anything productive, you would have an argument, but there's not.
The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way.
When I'm watching some of these TikToks, I feel like I'm watching the most awkward scene on Love on the Spectrum. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. And you're mad that someone saying they like trans people and their frame of reference of that is me. That's probably a really cool person, I have to say. That's probably like a completely normal person who is more than willing to accept and engage with a trans person, and you're online bitching about it. It's crazy how the goal is like, we got to get acceptance, which is really just a broader term for make people like us. And this person's like saying it's wrong to like trans people if the reason is Blaire White. That's just so sick and twisted.
That is weird.
You are twisted. And also, this one did have FTM in the tag, so this is a trans man. How about you act like one and stop attacking?
I knew it, dude. I was thinking that, dude. She kind of has feminine features. I would say she kind of looks like a black chick. Damn, dude.
Attacking a woman on the internet. Bitch.
Blaire White is gonna say one thing.
She definitely does have some like really weird like I'm nurturing to the conservative. Like I understand the fillers have feminized your face, but I'm post-op boots. Like I know a thing or two.
She
I
fart?
know a podcast with her.
What the fuck?
Yes. I was shady to her.
Where? When?
Why would you make that sound effect your sensor? Like, that's so weird, dude.
I called her Claire.
Where?
I kind of feel bad about that.
Where did you
No,
go?
I don't.
Where was that?
I don't care.
Where was?
No, Jeff, we're talking about, I don't know why all the girls hate me. I'm like, well, yes,
and
you,
all this?
yes, you do.
First of all, Xanax is a hell of a drug. Xanax is a hell of a drug. I have to just say that. And second of all, I felt
They
like
all
I
up
was
on the
listening
Xannies,
to a
bro.
different language that entire time. I actually feel like I only understood like 3 words. And it wasn't even just the slurring. It was like, here's my hot take, my controversial take. This is a bit touchy.
These dudes think talking like a Kardashian makes you a woman. They are misogynistic just by their very nature. I swear, they freaking act like a Kardashian parody. That's what they look like.
And this may upset some people. Do I care? Not really. I don't care who's mad, get so mad. I think there is an actual IQ problem in the trans community. Actually, I'm going to broaden it. In the broader LGBT community, I think it's not.
I feel like I blacked out what they were saying, right, dude? My brain just tunes out that kind of shit. That kind of slop. My brain just tunes it out.
Not that we don't have some brilliant gays, right? We've had those. We have one brilliant trans. Just kidding, there's a few others. But it's like the curve is just... And I don't know if it's the literal drug use problem we have in the LGBT community, for which it's a big problem. And I know that that can actually dampen your IQ as well, permanently.
Yeah, that could be it.
If that's the case, okay. But I'm wondering, is it a factor of their birth? Were they in fact born this way? Like the song. But you know, I do...
Or it might be part of the culture. I don't know. Maybe they're like brainwashed by the culture into thinking that they have to be this way. Drugs probably definitely play a role. Not saying they don't, but the culture is definitely a huge part of it. Probably.
I do remember going on a podcast with this one. This one was correct. And I think it was years ago, but it's fine. I don't actually remember you. I don't have any beef with you. And unlike your voice, it's really not that deep.
Trans Republican.
Oh! He said, unlike your voice, it's really not that deep. Why the tiara? Because they're all queens. Snap, snap. It's like a culture thing. I don't know. They feel like they have to be these bougie bitches in order to be women. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Hello, Hollywood.
I wonder what it'd be like to make money off of like the far right and telling people that trans people are bad.
There's such a weird trans influencer pipeline.
We don't have to tell people that you're bad. You just do bad things and we tell people that you're doing it. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's it. That's what's happening. All we're doing is reporting on things that we see. We commit the crime of noticing.
To being conservative. Because at a certain point, they've mined all of the stuff that they can talk about. So then they go, I guess I'm now far right. And it's crazy.
Yes.
There's all these dolls on the internet who are like, I have guns. And it's like, what are you doing?
First of all,
guns.
Did they say my name? No. But I'm including it because who the fuck else could they be talking about?
Yeah, you're the only one that like actually showcased your guns. You freaking... She did a whole video reading hate comments while she shot guns. It's so great. But yeah, like I don't know who else they could be talking about.
Because there's just such a plethora of right-wing trans women who post with guns. There's just such a plethora that like it'd be crazy for me to take this personally, right? Right. Dylan, I wonder what it would be like to make money off of telling the right wing blah blah blah. Dylan, I wonder what it would be like to make money doing the shit you do.
Here goes nothing. It's pink, it's kind of adorable, and it kind of looks like a butter churn.
This would be fucking hilarious if he wasn't serious. You know, if he was just a parody, like I would totally fucking, I'd be laughing my ass off, bro. But he's serious. He thinks that this is what women do. All these women, all you women in the chat, I know in the free time when you're not in chat, you spend your time frolicking in a two-piece. You just find a meadow somewhere and you just frolic. That's all you women do. You frolicking obsessed women.
I genuinely could.
Oh God. And I'm sure you all scream at bugs, don't you? You scream and freak out so hard you trip over yourself, don't you? Yeah, that's what women do.
Never sink to such a low. The clownery is like, we need a different word for clown. It's like, clowns have much more dignity. I respect the behaviors of actual clowns more than yours. I really thought, call me white-pilled, call me a high hoper, right? Call me Delulu. I thought that after the election,
sometimes Delulu is the Salulu. And play with our tampons, right, dude? Average women behavior.
And trans people had their ass handed to them so hard with a complete rejection of all of the things that they're fighting for. Like, I thought that maybe there would be like some self-reflection where people are like, you know what, maybe like it's that we're crazy. But that's like never what crazy people do. So for me to actually assume that.
Right? Crazy people don't know that they're crazy. That's what makes them crazy.
That was wrong on my part. And for the big one to say, you know, I guess it's because once you mine all the content you can make and you run out of all the ideas, then you're far right. You can tell that these are like not meaningless people, but people without meaning, right? Like people with no purpose, people with no real convictions, because normal people's political views and opinions and ways of being are not dictated by an algorithm and like milking ideas until something works. That's what you guys do, right? That's why the theater kid thing didn't work out. So then the gay kid thing maybe worked out a little bit, but not enough for Dylan. And then it was non-binary, and then it was trans, and then it was day 666 of being a woman, right?
Day 666. Right, he finally found a buyer. He finally found someone willing to buy his soul.
Maybe that is how you guys operate. Like, let me just try to be all these different types of people and say all these different types of things and give these different opinions until something works. But I've been that far right tranny. Far right. But I've been me since day one, actually. I have always firmly been on one side of the political aisle. I don't milk a bunch of different ideas. I'm not a fucking libertarian and then a leftist and then I'm actually just assessing the world based on how I'm assessing it, right?
Yeah, you just calls it like you sees it. People get mad because we notice.
And that's the bigger picture, is like all these words, Republican, conservative, far right, whatever the fuck. Like, those are group labels, but then there's also the separate process of like, I am genuinely assessing the world in this way. I'm seeing what works and what doesn't, and these are my takes. That's different, and that's something y'all are not actually capable of. Circling back to the clownery, by the way, it's just so interesting. Because you present this situation, Dylan, like I'm a dancing monkey for Republicans or something, when in fact, you are a dancing monkey for all the entities controlling you, making sure that you're on the view, making sure that you're portraying a certain image of trans.
Exactly. Sold his soul to the fucking devil and got a whole bunch of demons pushing him in front of every camera, getting all kinds of weird sponsorships, all these corporate entities, Nike, Bud Light, which Bud Light learned their lesson. I guess we can forgive. Jesus teaches forgiveness. So where was I going with that? But yeah, you are just a puppet pushing this trans agenda. Linebacker, look at that, boy.
An image that's really fucked up, that's really embarrassing, that's really cringe, and seems almost abusive towards you to even put you out there the way that your handlers have put you out there.
Day 3 of being a girl, and I've already become a bimbo.
I'm not.
Oh, that is so gross. Oh, God. Blah.
Paid by anybody. I'm not owned by anybody. You are. And that's clear. And that's fine. And that's everyone's bag and everyone's path is different. But for you to sit up here and act like you have not been like the #1 contributor to people disliking trans people more.
Right, dude?
Like, genuinely.
Just the fact that he says day 1 of being a girl and not day 1 of being a woman it's weird in and of itself. That fact alone is like, okay, that you're putting us off of everything that you're doing already. Girls aren't bimbos, bruh. Not automatically. They gotta be a bimbo in order to be a be a bimbo. There's a lot of bimbos. But not every girl is a bimbo.
Your presence, not just the Bud Light thing, but like your presence, Dylan, has created more transphobia than I've actually ever seen in my life. I remember the turning. Spring 2023 or whatever, early summer, that you did the Bud Light thing. It was like all of a sudden, people who didn't even have an opinion on trans were walking in hot, just only seeing you. And it was embarrassing. It was a really bad look. No one is particularly proud of it, right? It's just the lack of self-awareness from these, especially the bigger trans influencers. It's like, if you guys are influencing anything, we can see the results, right? We can see the results of the kind of society you created around trans people, the types of moods and attitudes and opinions towards trans people that were never so unanimously negative. The amount of just like regular women on the internet that I see commenting on, just say a random video you pops up or something about you, the amount of comments from just regular women who are like, I never had any issues with trans people and now I feel like I'm being mocked, I feel like I'm being ridiculed, or I feel like this is like woman face. Like, congrats to you for the
It feels like woman face because it is woman face. Like these fucking dudes who think that being a woman is just dressing in pink and wearing a bunch of makeup and carrying a purse and frolicking in a meadow, and that's all it takes to be a woman. Like,
creation of the term woman face, because I never heard that shit in my life. And now that's something that all of trans people are in a way taking on because of you. If we really want to analyze it and have a discussion, if we want to compare societal harm against trans people, what have I done? I feel like if I was just like a random person in the trans community and I was looking at like Dylan Mulvaney and Blaire White, I might not like Blaire White. People don't like trans people because of Dylan Mulvaney. People, if anything, the craziest, most hardcore right-wing motherfucker, oftentimes you will see, I don't like trans people, but Blaire White's okay. And I'm sorry, that can seem like a shallow thing, but at least they have one, right?
actually, Blaire White's one of the people that are making people not hate all trans people. It makes you realize that there are people who are actually trans, and then there are just cross-dressing dudes. She's one of the people opening their eyes in a different way to the whole trans phenomenon. So I can totally see that. Being like, oh yeah, trans people are weird, but Blaire White's okay. Yeah, Blaire White's one of the normal ones.
At least there's like one figure humanizing trans people to these people who otherwise are like, ew, fuck that. That is called a net positive. It's a very small one, and that's how bleak the situation is because of you guys. But you get what I'm saying? Would you rather have 1 or 0? I don't know. That Days of Girlhood shit.
It's weird.
That Days of Girlhood shit was literally like the trans apocalypse.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tapped out. This one was just so annoying. Follow me on this channel. Subscribe to me on this channel, rather. Ew, I'm a YouTuber, subscribe. Follow me though on X and Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to my second channel, my podcast channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
We love Blaire White. We simp for Blaire White on this channel.